I thought I found the one, but it feels like we're too far gone. I'm holding on, but slipping away. Could have been love, but it's lost today. Maybe we met too soon. Our hearts in different rooms. Timing's cool, but we're still here, fading slowly, held by fear. Your smile pulls me back in, but the clock keeps ticking, telling us when. It feels like we're meant to be, but life just won't let us be free. I keep waiting for another time when we could be free of the climb. Our love was real, but it's slipping fast. I'm stuck here knowing it can't last. Maybe we met too soon. Our hearts in different rooms. Timing's cruel, but we're still here, fading slowly, held by fear. Maybe we met too soon. Our hearts in different rooms. Timing's cruel, but we're still here, fading slowly, held by fear. Your smile pulls me back in, but the clock keeps ticking, telling us when. It feels like we're meant to be, but life just won't let us be free. Your smile pulls me back in, but the clock keeps ticking, telling us when. It feels like we're meant to be, but life just won't let us be free. I thought you'd be my forever, but we were chasing a dream that couldn't weather. You and I, too eager to go, but we found out too late. Love takes it slow. We couldn't wait for the stars to align. Rush through the moments, left them behind. It could have been us, but the timing was off. Now we're scattered like pieces we can't sew. Your hands held mine like we could fly, but we were grounded, unable to try. We moved too fast, thought we had it all, but ended up watching it slowly fall. We built it up, but it crumbled down. Fate was too strong, it made us drown. I still wonder if we could have made it through, but time had other plans for me and we couldn't wait for the stars to align. Rush through the moments, left them behind. It could have been us, but the timing was off. Now we're scattered like pieces we can't sew. When we couldn't wait for the right day, we lost it all and drifted away. Maybe someday we'll understand why love slipped through our hands. We spoke like the world was ours, but we missed the mark by 1,000 stars. I loved you then, and I love you now, but time's pulled us apart somehow. It's too late for us, it's hard to believe the right love, but we couldn't conceive, we're not wrong. But the timing's off, now we're lost and trying to find our way back. Your touch felt like everything I needed, but life had other plans, and I was defeated. We danced around the perfect place, but time left us with no trace. I keep hoping we could have been, but we're trapped in what could have been. It's too late for us. It's hard to believe the right love, but we couldn't conceive, we're not wrong. But the timing's off, now we're lost, trying to find our way back. It's too late for us, but I'll carry this pain in my heart. It'll still remain. I'll never forget how it felt to fall for the right love at the wrong call. I took a leap, not knowing the fall. You caught me halfway, but not at all. We were never meant to be together, but I held on to you thinking it was forever. I was falling without a net, caught in a love I'll never forget. We were something that couldn't last, but I keep holding on to the past. Your voice was like a promise I couldn't keep. You said we'd survive, but I couldn't sleep. Every word you spoke felt so real, but the reality was we'd never heal. I should've known from the start that love like this would break my heart. You were the risk I shouldn't have taken, but it's too late, the damage is done, I'm shaken. I was falling without a net, caught in a love I'll never forget. We were something that couldn't last, but I keep holding on to the past. I'll never forget how it felt to fall without a net, losing it all. But I'll learn from this somehow, even if I'm still holding on now. Your voice was like a promise I couldn't keep. You said we'd survive, but I couldn't sleep. Every word you spoke felt so real, but the reality was we'd never heal. We crossed paths at the wrong moment, when the world was too loud to notice. I saw you there, but we couldn't speak. The timing wasn't ours, we were too weak. In another life, maybe we'd have stayed, not letting go, not afraid. In a different world, we'd be free, but we missed it, you and me. The spark was real, but it was too brief. We both tried, but we couldn't believe. I reached for you, but you pulled away. Now I wonder what we could have said. Maybe in another life we'll meet again, when the stars align and we feel the pain. I'll wait for the moment, a different time, when the world lets we could have said. In I'll wait for that moment, a different time, when the world lets us cross that line. In another life, maybe we'll be whole, but for now, I'm just left with this hope. I'll dream of what could have been, in a world where we win. We met when the world wasn't ready. Hearts racing, but our feet unsteady. I felt you close, but time pulled away, telling us we couldn't stay. Our time was never ours to keep. We were running, but we couldn't leave. We loved in a world that moved too fast, caught in a moment that wouldn't last. Your touch was warmth I couldn't hold. You were everything I wanted, but it's cold. We fought for something that slipped through, chasing a love we couldn't pursue. I thought we'd find a way to stay, but time said we couldn't play. We ran in circles, never knew the end. Now we're just two hearts that couldn't mend. Our time was never ours to keep. We were running, but we couldn't leave. We loved in a world that moved too fast, caught in a moment that wouldn't last. I thought we'd find a way to stay, but time said we couldn't play. We ran in circles, never knew the end. Now we're just two hearts that couldn't mend. Our love was fleeting, but it felt so real. In the chaos we couldn't heal. Now we're lost in what we could have been, but time was never kind to us, my friend. I felt the pull, but we stood still. We reached for each other, but time stood still. Your eyes said everything I wanted to hear, but we couldn't bridge the distance, my dear. There's a space between us that we couldn't fill, a love that's real, but it's slipping still. We tried to make it, but the timing's wrong. Now we're left with what we thought was strong. We spoke in silence, understood the ache, but time kept turning and we couldn't break. We loved, but the world didn't let us stay. Now all that's left is a world far away. If I could hold you just one more time, would we find a way to make it right? Or are we bound to never close the space and wonder if love's too late to chase? There's a space between us that we couldn't fill, a love that's real, but it's slipping still. We tried to make it, but the timing's wrong. Now we're left with what we thought was strong. In the space between, we still collide, but the distance grows as we try try to hide, I'll carry you with me, though we're apart. A love that remains, but not in my heart. Between us that we couldn't fill. I love the truth, but it's slipping still. We tried to make it, but the timing's wrong. Now we're left with what we thought was strong. We spoke in silence, understood the ache. But time kept turning, and we couldn't break. We loved, but the world didn't let us stay. Now all that's left is a world far away. In the space between us that we couldn't fill, a love that's real, but it's slipping still. We tried to make it, but the timing's wrong. Now we're left with what we thought was strong. We were two hearts in a lone place, chasing a love we couldn't embrace. The clock kept ticking, but we stood still, caught in a moment that time couldn't fill. Caught in the moment, but it slipped away. We were too late to make it stay. The love so strong, but we couldn't fight. We let it go in the middle of the night. You held my hand, but the world moved fast. I wanted forever, but it couldn't last. We tried to change the course we were on, and we were already too far gone. If I could turn the clock around, would we find a way to stay unbound? Or are we destined to always miss the chance to dance together in this fleeting romance? Caught in the moment, but it slipped away. We were too late to make it stay. A love so strong, but we couldn't fight. We let it go in the middle of the night. Now we're left with what we couldn't save. A love that time couldn't be brave. But in the silence I still hear your name. Caught in the moment, but we couldn't play the game. We walked the line between love and regret. Your touch was gentle, but the timing wasn't set. There was something real in every glance, but life had a way of stealing our chance. Unspoken truths were left behind, words unsaid that we couldn't find. Our hearts were open, but the world was cold, caught in a love that couldn't unfold. I saw the future in your eyes, but the present was a place full of goodbyes. We moved in sync, but pulled apart. A bittersweet ending before the start. If I could change the time we couldn't control. Our hearts were tangled, but the distance took its toll. You were everything I didn't expect, but we couldn't save what we couldn't protect. We were fading before we knew a love that never had time to bloom. I held on tight, but you slipped away. Now all I have is yesterday. We danced around the words we never said. The feelings were there, but we left them unread. We tried to hold on, but the threads broke. Now we're left with promises we never spoke. If the clock had given us more time, would we have found the way to climb? Or would we always have been too late, chasing the love we couldn't create? We were fading before we knew a love that never had time to bloom. I held on tight, but you slipped away. Now all I have is yesterday. I'll keep you in the corners of my mind, a love that was never mine to find. We faded too soon, but you're still here, in every memory, in every tear. Crossed paths when the world wasn't ready, tangled in feelings but nothing was steady. You were a spark I couldn't chase. We built something but it couldn't stay in place. We were fading like footprints in the sand. I reached for you but you slipped through my hand. We ran out of time without a sign. Now all I have are memories that aren't mine. There were moments when I felt we could fly, but the sky was too heavy for us to try. The bond we shared, it couldn't grow, and I couldn't stop the tides from taking it slow. If the stars had given us a chance, would we have found a way to dance? Or would we always be just a dream, fading in the space between? We were fading like footprints in the sand. I reached for you, but you slipped through my hand. We ran out of time without a sign. Now all I have are memories that aren't mine. If the stars had given us a chance, would we have found a way to dance? Or would we always be just a dream, floating in the space between? We were fading like footprints in the sand. I reached for you, but you slipped through my hand. We ran out of time without a sign. Now all I have are memories that aren't mine. Left behind, but I still feel you in every line. Though we're lost, I can't forget the footprints we made the ones we left. we chose to ignore, and the distance between us only grew more. We stayed on unspoken roads, never knowing which way to go. Every step we took pulled us apart, but I kept holding on to what was in my heart. The timing was always out of reach, and every word we never could teach. We tried to build, but we didn't know how. Now I'm left wondering where we are now. If we had more time, would we find a way? Or would we keep missing ever good deeds to stay? We stood at the crossroads, never sure, caught in the blur of what was pure. We stayed on unspoken roads, never knowing which way to go. Every step we took pulled us apart, but I kept holding on to what was in my heart. The roads have led us here, to places unknown where we disappear, but in the silence you'll always be near, a shadow of what could have been clear. Now the roads have led us here, to places unknown where we disappear, but in the silence you'll always be near, a shadow of what could have been clear.